Right now on News 8 at 6, battle at City Hall, how some council members in Muscatine are trying to kick the mayor out of office.
And paying the price, how Iowa college students could feel the impact of big budget cuts.
Live from WQAD, News 8 at 6 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Denise Hanitka.
And I'm Jim Mertens. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. And we begin tonight in Muscatine, where city council members say they want to remove Mayor Diana Brodersen from office.
It is the latest move after months of bad blood in City Hall. News 8's Jessica Dedita is in Muscatine, where she just spoke with the mayor.
Hi, Denise. Yes, the Muscatine City Council is just under an hour away from deciding on whether or not to vote to have the city attorney start the process of removing Mayor Brodersen from office. The mayor took office in 2016 and says the council has stripped her of her appointing elected officials and other key positions. Brodersen says she thinks the city council isn't happy with who she's appointed in the past, but the council says for years mayors have ran their decision by city administrators and other members. They say Brodersen hasn't done that. There also has not been a reason given for the push to remove the mayor from her seat. And coming up tonight at 10, we will have a full wrap-up of tonight's meeting and the council's final decision. Reporting live in Muscatine, Jessica Dedita, WQAD News 8.
Thank you, Jessica. A Kewanee, Illinois man is being treated tonight for serious burns after surviving a home explosion. The blast destroyed the home of 65-year-old Eddie Bickers. Firefighters suspect the cause was a gas explosion from something inside that house. A neighboring home was also damaged.
It's tough. I mean, he's been through a lot in his life, and this is horrible.
You know, he could have been killed. It's just terrible. It's a terrible thing. I guess we can say it's a blessing that he was able to come out.
While Eddie's home is insured, family and friends are still trying to help out by collecting some items that he can use during his recovery.
Police have a man in custody tonight after he was chased into the crowded Clinton Walmart. The superstore was on lockdown for 3 hours starting at 9 this morning. That's where police arrested 35-year-old Jacob Daw of Clinton. Clinton police say Daw is wanted on 7 different warrants with additional charges pending. He ran from officers, they say, at the Wild Rose Casino less than a mile west of Walmart. Initial reports indicated Daw was armed with a handgun, but they don't think the gun ever made it into the store. They did find Daw, though, hiding in a sales bin inside the Walmart. Police say they trained for situations like these and that everything went according to their plan.
There are situations like this that are going to happen. If you're ever in a Walmart, a Kmart, or anything, and someone says, get out, no, don't ask why. You leave. Don't get your kids, but leave your coat or whatever and get out. There's a reason why someone, whether it's a police officer or an employee of the business, is saying leave now, and this is why.
Police are still looking for that handgun they believe belongs to Daw. The good news is no one was hurt in this incident.
A Rock Island man was sentenced to 15 years in prison today after pleading guilty in a murder case. Dentrell Brown pled guilty to second-degree murder in the 2012 killing of 14-year-old Damian Howard. Back in January 2012, police say they found Howard shot inside a car that had hit a light post. Brown was charged with the crime last year. He was already in jail, serving 9 years for a home invasion.
Still no charges filed after a driver hit and killed a bicyclist in Moline last month. Witnesses say Bob Moldenhauer, otherwise known as the Can Man, was crossing the street with his bicycle when he was hit by a van. Neighbors in the area say the man was homeless and collected aluminum cans for money. Rock Island County's state attorney says his office is still determining whether charges will be filed against the driver.
Davenport police say that brake failure may have caused a tow truck to crash into a house. It happened near the intersection of Eastern Avenue and 39th Street. Crews pulled the truck out of the home this morning, nearly a week now after it crashed into the house. The homeowner says it was parked at the Winding Hills apartment complex when it rolled downhill, crossed traffic, then slammed into the home.
That was a good thing. You know, just the house is what got killed instead of human. You can always replace the house, but a human life you just can't.
Police aren't saying who the driver is or if anyone will be ticketed. Could be a dangerous wintry mix south of the Quad Cities as the Great Plains states prepare for an ice storm down there.
I don't want to say better them than us, but you got to admit, I'm glad we're not in this situation. Chief Meteorologist James Zahara is in the Weather Center.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't change as we head into the weekend, that's for sure. All dry around the area, that's some good news, and cold too. Already we've got upper teens and lower 20s across the board. Currently in the Quad Cities, 23 degrees with that northwest breeze. Feels more like around 12. We'll expect those wind chills overnight to be more in the single digits. But here's a big concern as we head into the weekend, and the real concern is going to be for portions of Kansas and Missouri. This is going to be a mess, where about a half to 3/4 of an inch of ice will be developing. You can see a small portion of our viewing area is actually under a winter storm watch, and there is a good chance we will be seeing in portions of our viewing area some ice accumulations as well. We'll tell you when the best chance for this is going to be taking place and what towns will be affected coming up in just a few minutes.
Iowa lawmakers are looking to cut $100 million from the current year's budget. News 8's Megan Noe joins us live in Bettendorf to explain why college students may be the ones to pay the price.
Denise, the state didn't bring in as much money as expected this year, so lawmakers are looking for areas to make cuts. And if the governor has his way, some of the money will come from community colleges like this one.
Did they tell me the length?
At schools like Scott Community College, they're getting students ready to work.
People probably don't realize the extent of it, but we have 40,000 students that come through our classes every year. And a very large percentage of those students are workforce training students.
But proposed cuts in state funding could make that mission a real challenge.
The budget reductions I'm recommending for this fiscal year are difficult, but they maintain our funding they do maintain funding for mutual priorities.
This week, Iowa Governor Terry Branstad proposed more than $100 million in cuts, including $8.7 million from the state's community colleges.
We have to deal with that in what amounts to 5 months left in the fiscal year, which obviously is going to be a very big challenge for us.
For Eastern Iowa community colleges, that would mean $750,000 in cuts. The impact will be spread out among the schools in Clinton, Muscatine, and Scott County.
We'll be looking at programs, we'll be looking at services, we'll be looking at some of those things. And then, of course, next year we'll probably be looking at a tuition increase, whether we like it or not. That's a real possibility for us.
But for now, it's wait and see as colleges and students wait for lawmakers to make their move. Now, any cuts to EICC's budget won't impact plans to build an urban campus for Scott Community College in downtown Davenport. School leaders say that money is in a separate fund and is not part of the general budget. Reporting live in Bettendorf, Megan Noe, WQAD News 8.
All right, thank you, Megan. Another college, Western Illinois University, facing another tough semester with no state funding. This after last year's stopgap budget seriously hurt the Quad City and Macomb campuses. Right now, planned construction projects are on hold, and the university already cut 4 majors for students last school year. There were also staff layoffs, furloughs, and other reductions. The school may need to brace for more cuts this year. Over the past decade, Western Illinois has seen smaller enrollments, but this year's freshman class was about the same size as last year's.
Which was huge when we look at the crisis of confidence in our state and the number of students who are leaving our state. So we feel that we have stabilized our freshman enrollment.
Western Illinois University in the Quad Cities is also adding a new mechanical engineering degree this semester, a move the school says will help students get into a growing career field. And you can catch my entire interview with President Thomas tonight at 7 on WQPT's public affairs show, The Cities.
Road crews are busy filling potholes as the pavement shifts this winter. Workers in Moline try to keep up with the problem areas, especially the high traffic roads like 6th Avenue. Workers, though, say that constant traffic hitting the same spots over and over again just makes the problem worse. You can help by letting the city know when you see one that's very bad.
Anywhere that anybody's going to drive, they need to be aware of them, and if they see them, certainly report them and to slow down as they see that stuff, and if they can avoid them at all possible, you know, they certainly want to do that. The last thing anybody wants to do is deal with any sort of damage to their vehicle.
Moline has that pothole hotline you can call with any information. Davenport and Bettendorf have the option of calling the city or filling out an online repair form.
Dick's Sporting Goods store planning to hire about 200 workers for its new store opening in Davenport. That new store will be the company's 3rd Dick's Field and Stream and Golf Galaxy location. It'll focus more on hunting, fishing, archery, camping, and of course golf. There are full part-time and temporary positions available. A grand opening date has not yet been announced. Still at a News 8 at 6. Picture project.
How you can take part in a piece of Quad City history at the Putnam Museum.
You're watching WQAD News 8 at 6 with Jim Mertens and Denise Hanitka.